All right, shalom, 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 brothers and sisters. This is your brother Kazakia back again with part two on the controversial brother Shaul or Paul. Now, I want to kind of reiterate something here. In the first half, I read, I started at verse 25. I want to go back just a little bit in this dissertation. Shaul was going around and he was evangelizing other nations, which he called Gentiles, which were primarily those that were outsiders of Israel, and namely the Greek and Roman Isles. So the word had gotten out to the Israelites that he was teaching things contrary to the law. So in his one of his congregations that he started, there was a prophetess there that told him not to go to Jerusalem because he was going to be led to be killed. So he went anyway. But anyway, here he ends up at James's house or Yaakov, and Yaakov questioned him by asking him the following, okay? Verse 17 says, "And when they were come to Jerusalem, the brethren received us gladly, and the following day Shaul went in with us unto Yaakov, and all the elders were present." Excuse me. "And when he had saluted them, he declared particularly what things Yah had wrought among the Gentiles by his ministry." Right? Verse 20. "And when they heard it, they glorified Yah and said unto him, Thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Israelites there are which believe, and they are zealous of the law." 21. "And they informed of thee that thou teachest all Israelites which are among the Gentiles to forsake Moshe, saying that they ought not to circumcise their children, neither walk after the customs." Then he says, 22, "What is it therefore? The multitude must needs come together, for they will hear that thou art come." 23, "Do therefore this that we say to thee, we have 4 men which have a vow on them." 24, "Then take and purify with them, and be at charges with them, that they may shave their heads," right? and make know that those things whereof they were informed concerning thee are nothing, but that thou thyself also walk orderly and keep the law. So this is what Yaakov was telling him. Now, 25, "As touching the Gentiles which believe, we and have written and conclude that they observe no such thing, save only that they keep themselves from things offered to idols, and from blood, and from strangle, and from fornication." Then Shaul took the men, and the next day, purifying himself with them, entered into the temple, and signified the accomplishments of the days of purification, until that an offering should be offered for every one of them. So now, you see here what the charge was. So Shaul was trying to be in compliance, but then here we find the very next day, it says Shaul was arrested in the temple. So we read that part already. Now, I want to skip forward to Shaul went and he appealed to, he played politics, right? Because the Israelites was going to kill him, right, for breaking the laws, okay, and teaching against the laws. So because he had the knowledge of the government of Rome, and he was a Roman citizen, he appealed to the Roman authorities to protect him against the people of Israel, the Israelite government, right? Now, so Shaul was stuck in a hard place. So let's go to chapter 24. And I want to zoom down in on verse 14. And you can read it yourself in your own time. After Shaul realized that he was about to be killed for teaching against the law, because he was definitely teaching against the law. Make no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That now he tried to play in the middle to spare his life. So now he appeals to, let's just read a little bit about this here, okay? Verse 1 says, after 5 days, Ananias the high priest ascended with the elders and with certain orator named Tertullus, who informed the governor against Shaul, or Paul. And when he was called forth, Tertullus began to accuse him, saying, seeing that by thee we enjoy great quietness, and that very worthy deeds are done unto this nation by the providence, we accept it always, and in all places, most noble Felix, with all thankfulness, right? Notwithstanding, verse 4, that I be not further tedious unto thee, I pray thee that thou would hear us for our clemency a few words. 5. For we have found this man, right, petulant fellow, and a mover of sedition among all of the Israelites throughout the world, and a ringleader of the sect of the Nazarenes, who also have gone about profaning the temple, whom we took and would have judged according to our law, right? But the chief captain Lysias came upon us, and with great violence took him away out of our hands, okay? Commanding his accusers to come unto thee, by examining of whom thyself mayest take knowledge of all these things whereof we accuse him. 9. And the Israelites also assented, saying that these things were so. 10. Then Shaul, after that the governor had beckoned unto him to speak, answered, for as much as I know that thou hast been of many years a judge unto this nation, I do the more cheerfully answer for myself. Verse 11. Because thou mayest understand that there are yet but 12 days since I went up into Jerusalem for to worship. 12. And they neither found me in the temple disputing with any man, neither raising up the people, neither in the synagogues nor in the city. So he's playing politics, right? Neither can they prove the things whereof they now accuse me, right? Okay. But this I confess, here's the word Shaul, unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy, so worship I the Elohim of my fathers, believing all things which are written in the law and in the prophets. Okay, so he's playing politics, because the cleansing of the other nations, which was part of the law, he didn't do. So yeah, so Shaul was playing politics. And after he realized that the brother was going to take him before the government of Israel, he realized that he had to change up his game. Okay, so he complied with the Israelites to try to say that he hadn't done anything against the law, which he's wrong. He's dead wrong, right? So now he says, and read 14 again, and I'm gonna close out. He says, but this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy, so worship I the Elohim of my fathers, believing all things which are written in the law and in the prophets. Now, it's one thing to believe, and it's one thing to carry out. So whether or not he truly believed the things, but what he was doing was not doing what the law said. So you tell me whether or not he really believed, or whether he's just saying it to be politically correct so that they wouldn't kill him. Right? 15 says, and have hope towards Elohim, which they themselves also allowed, that there shall be a resurrection of the dead, both of the just and the unjust. So what I'm trying to tell you is that Shaul caused great confusion back in the day amongst Israelites, just like today the letters that he wrote are causing nothing but straight confusion. And that's the reason why Shimon Kefa said that those that are unlearned twist, wrestle the scriptures to their own destruction. If the people that are teaching this Shaul doctrine that you're not under the law was living back in those days, they'd be stoned for that heretical doctrine. But because the government of Israel is not enforcing the death penalty, they can continue to teach that falsehood. So who are you going to follow? Are you going to follow what the Most High said, or are you going to follow the misteachings of what you think Shaul said? On that note, shalom, shalom, shalom.